yeah, man, look, like I know it wasn't perfect, and we can dissect and nitpick, and there were some serious issues, of course. But man, I will always take the win over the loss. Because man, here's the deal: if Miami would have lost 4 in a row, it would have been absolutely catastrophic. Like so many Canes fans that were already, pitchforks and torches, freaking out. And if we would have dropped 4, whoo,
Oh, Kane's Twitter would have burned itself to the ground.
yeah,
if we'd have gone 4 like. But yeah, after a month, man, it sure is nice to win a game.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a sorry, horrible Virginia Tech team, but a W is a W.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I hate that the game had to end the way that it did. Because up at one point, we were upset. No, we were up 20-0 at one point, and then it just felt like in the fourth quarter, it fell apart. Like we couldn't run the ball, we couldn't burn any time off of the clock. We became one-dimensional on offense. Our defense started to get tired because they were on the field so much. Penalties, 16 for 144 yards. Like,
yeah, that's pathetic. That's bad. That's bad. Almost twice as many penalty yards as rushing yards. So that that's not a good thing. They got to clean that up, and that's on the coaching too. They need to get in there and get in those kids' heads and get them straightened out.
And that worries me though with the schedule coming up because I always poke fun at Duke and Georgia Tech and some of these other ACC teams, but if we can't run the ball, I mean that's what 3 weeks in a row that we're under 100 rushing yards.
Yeah, that's not good at all. And our passing game isn't that great either. So
fair.
We don't have a lot to work with.
I mean, it's just okay,
Hey, Abe Froman, thank you very much for the $1.99 super chat. Got to clean up the penalties ASAP. That's exactly what we're talking, man. Exactly. Gotta clean that stuff up.
And it's interesting though because when we go back and look at the previous games, the penalties weren't really that big of a problem. North Carolina, we only had 3 penalties for 30 yards. I mean, that's terrific. MTSU, 4 for 15. So what happened in this game?
I would say probably like mental frustration.
That's fair.
I would think. I mean, you look at a team, how many losses we just go in a row?
3.
Yeah, so 3 losses in a row. I mean, that's got to get inside their heads, and now they're out there frustrated. And, you start – when you're losing, nothing's fun,
Yeah.
Teams like to win. Players want to get out there and win when you get in the locker room and after loss after loss after loss, people start getting frustrated and the vibe falls apart. So hopefully this will light a fire underneath them and let them know they do know how to win again.
And I think that it's definitely getting time for the youth movement. I mean, we're having some guys that are being forced to play due to injuries. Like, I mean, we come into this game with Arroyo out. Mallory goes down, so then we start to see more of Skinner, who's someone we're excited about, but doesn't really get as much play time as we anticipated. Kobe Young, of course, coming in and making an impact.
What happened with Mallory? I had stepped away for a minute, and I came back, and he was out. I missed what happened.
There was actually a targeting call against Virginia Tech that took him out. He took a shoulder to the head.
Oh, I got you.
Called targeting, so.
I got you, so. Dirty play.
Yeah, they were mad. Virginia Tech fans were booing because when you look at targeting, whether you agree or disagree with the rules for it, by the rule book, it was targeting. People forget that it's not just the crown of the helmet. So Virginia Tech fans were freaking out and all mad. But I get it. But by the rule book, it would have been targeting.
How do you feel about the targeting? I mean, without selling yourself out, everybody, because I'm back and forth on that. It's annoying.
For me, it's one of those things. As long as we get consistency from the refs, because I feel like we're seeing some inconsistencies there. It kind of just depends. I'm not completely opposed to protecting the players a little more because I mean we're seeing long-term impacts, to their health from this stuff. Especially whenever they end up going to the next level and they play in the NFL and they continue to take those big hits. So I'm all for the player health. I don't want this thing to slowly turn into flag football or two-hand touch because some of them get a little, it's every little thing. Boom, flag, 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 flag. So
Right,
again,
and that's what I'm afraid of. It seems like especially with society as it is now, it seems like we're just down a road to where we'll be at flag football before we know it.
Right. I mean, football itself, it's a contact sport. It's going to be dangerous. You're going to have guys that get hurt. You're going to get hit really big sometimes. And, they're trying to really push to protect the quarterbacks, especially, and stuff. So at some point, you got to figure out kind of where to draw the line. And then as long as I'm seeing consistency amongst all the refs across the board, then overall, I'm okay with it.
Because see, I kind of look at it too. Like, I mean, if you sign up for something, I mean, you're playing football.
Yeah.
You're not playing patty cake or something like that. You're going out there and you're playing a full contact sport that comes with injuries. That's what you're doing. I mean, nobody else. You join the military, you know what the hell you're getting into. You're going and you're risking your life. You become a police officer, you're risking your life. Any profession. I mean, you become a receptionist or a accountant or anything like that. You're probably going to end up with carpal tunnel syndrome in your hands. Like every profession has its risks that are involved. You're a plumber, you're breathing the glue. You're no matter what you do, it has the risks that come with it. So to me, it's like, I mean, I'm not about like, put them back in leather helmets and release tigers on the field or anything like that. But
I watched a clip the other day of like an old school football game, like when they were wearing the leather helmets and stuff. And man, I couldn't sit through more than like 5 or 10 minutes and I had to turn it off. It was so slow.
Oh, yeah.
And like just unorganized looking, like, whew, it's come a long way.
But you're old enough to go back and, like, and by saying that, happy birthday, man. I guess tomorrow you're turning what, 33?
The big 33. I might as well bring in the hover round, the walker. I'm an old man.
Hey, now don't go too far. I'm 46, so now you're going to make me feel older.